The topic of today's video is something that everyone who wants to be providing liquidity on platforms like Uniswap, Balancer, you name it. This is something that everyone is going to have to reckon with, either before they decide to go ahead and provide that liquidity, preferably this would be happening before, or after, as they see its effects play out in their portfolio. So let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode. Today we are talking about impermanent loss, or maybe more appropriately named, divergence loss. So I've said it once, I've said it before, I'll say it probably many more times. I think it's really exciting seeing these people build these platforms and writing these smart contracts that are really paving the way that will allow many of us to have our money work for us in many more ways than one. Now, I've also spoken time and again about the very real risks that are involved in using and interacting with these smart contracts. But as time moves forward and these attack vectors and bugs are worked out, hopefully these risks will be diminished. So before I post my next video, which by the way is going to be a tutorial on how to add and remove liquidity from Uniswap, today this video is definitely needed so that, we're all on the same page and have realistic expectations for the outcome of providing liquidity to platforms like Uniswap, like Balancer. Again, there are many others. In the most very basic explanation, impermanent loss, or again, divergence loss, is something that happens when you compare holding your coins in your own wallets versus lending them out to a liquidity pool. So when you do lend liquidity to a liquidity pool, at least for Uniswap, you'll notice that you have to deposit an equal amount of each coin for the pool that you would like to be lending to. Again, it's involving two coins, right? And the price of these coins are determined based on the ratio that you are required to deposit at the time of lending your liquidity. And notice that you'll have to deposit the same amount of each coin in terms of US dollars. So if you want to participate in a liquidity pool for Ethereum and DAI, you'll have to put up an equal amount of each coin. So let's say if within your pool, someone is heavily trading or buying one coin than the other, rules of supply and demand, and equally the rules of this liquidity pool would determine that the price of the coin that they are buying heavily would go up, and the price of the coin that they are depositing heavily into your liquidity pool would go down. These prices are affected because, again, the prices are determined based on the ratio that you deposited them for that liquidity pool. So that means the drained coin will be much lower compared to its outside market price, and the accumulated coin on your side would be much lower based on, again, the outside market price. Don't you worry though, because wouldn't you know it, arbitrage traders love situations like this, and they would love to take advantage of this price difference compared to outside market, or outside of your liquidity pool. Really, they can take advantage of that price differentiation and make a quick buck or two by selling their DAI and buying your Ethereum at a cheaper price, selling their DAI for a higher price for you. So in that way, it does help to reach an equilibrium. So why would anyone even deal with this? Why would anyone provide liquidity? Why would anyone give their coins to this? Because they are paid in fees. For Uniswap, there is a 0.3% fee on every trade, and that fee is dispersed among the liquidity providers based on the percentage of the pool that they are taking up. Basically, how much coins they have contributed based on everyone else who is also contributing to that pool. So that's why people participate, because they get paid. So the trick here is deciding when to remove your liquidity from the liquidity pool. Because over time you are accumulating these fees in the form of the coins that you have provided for this liquidity pool, those trading fees can very well outweigh the divergence loss that can happen during these little price differentiations within the liquidity pool. As long as there aren't like massive price swings and you're not removing your liquidity before it can kind of return back to normal. That is a very real risk for liquidity providers of these pools. And that risk is even more so because turns out, guys, the rumors are true. You have to really put up a lot of money, or, you know, you have to put up a decent amount of money to be able to really make a dent in this percentage of liquidity pools. You might not have heard it, but Uniswap has hit the $2 billion mark of the amount of money locked up in these liquidity pools. So for you to have a fighting chance of getting, you know, a decent amount of these fees paid back to you, you're going to have to compete with that, really. This is why these new liquidity providing platforms like Sushi Swap, I think there's one like Sashimi Swap, Burger Swap, when they're new, it's much easier for you to have a bigger percentage of the liquidity pools, get paid more money and things like this. But like I always say, it's all a giant experiment. We're seeing ways that our money can work for us in so many more ways than one, even more so than just putting your money in an appreciating asset versus an interest-sucking savings account in a traditional banking situation. Furthermore, if you guys would like to learn a lot more in depth about like the maths of how this all works with the ratios, with the liquidity pools and things, I definitely suggest you check out the article that I linked to just for you down below in the video description. In the meantime, the next time you'll be seeing me is giving you all a tutorial on how to add and remove liquidity from Uniswap. Until then, hope you're staying happy and healthy. I'll see you soon.